So hey loves, and welcome back to the channel. So this video is gonna be one of my favorite type of videos to film, and that is the behind the scenes lighting setup of my YouTube filming studio. Now, if you're someone who is struggling with figuring out what works for you, figuring out what the best lighting setup could be or should be in your filming studio, then in this video I'm going to be putting you through all of that, sharing with you guys some of my favorite lighting tips as well as setup when it comes to filming YouTube videos, whether you're filming tutorials, hair, beauty, lifestyle. I got you, and let's do this because I'm excited for this. And yeah, let's get right into it. So if you are interested, be sure to stick around, don't go anywhere, and let's get right into this video. So again, hi guys, welcome back. My name is Kelechi Mbwemana, just in case you're seeing me for the first time. If you aren't, hi, welcome back. If you are, hello, welcome to our channel. So in this video, like I said, we are going to be talking all about lighting. We're going to get really practical with this because again, you guys know, if you've been following me, if you're subscribed to this channel, which I think you should do right now, click on the subscribe button and join the family. You guys know that I like to get, very detailed, very practical with, my setup whenever I'm doing like a tutorial video like this or a guide video like this. I like to kind of show you guys behind the scenes, show you guys options, show you guys how to make it work. Okay, so again, I do have tons of videos relating to lighting and using lighting to create your background, to create your set, to set the mood. I'm going to leave everything, the entire lighting playlist right here, but currently speaking, I do have a new set which I kind of showed you guys in my last video. I'll leave the link here again so you guys can check it out. So when it comes to lighting, the most asked question with lighting on my channel is regards to the best lighting setup on a budget. So a lot of you guys are looking for budget friendly options, and it's so amazing, and I'm so glad because I finally get to practice what I've been preaching with regards to budget friendly setup. I have tried everything, guys. Check out all my playlists. I have literally tried, basically, I want to say like at least a decent amount of lighting, systems and, lighting tools and boxes. However, when it comes to figuring out or, selecting a budget friendly lighting, option or system, the best that I would definitely recommend, and I'm recommending this because I have been recommending this for the past like 3-4 years. However, I'm currently recommending this because this is typically what I film with like 90% of the time and it is so easy to work with. The good thing is that it is totally free, guys. And guys, this is basically using your natural lighting, and yeah, that is what I'm using. So we can end this video now and call it a wrap, but we're not going to do that because again, we like to get in depth with this. But like I said, I'm currently filming with my natural lighting. I have been preaching about using natural lighting for the past 3 years, but I finally get to actually utilize it because I now have a window that I can work with. And when I tell you, when you go natural, you cannot go back. It is so beautiful when it comes to filming. It is just amazing. It is free, it is efficient, it is just beautiful. However, the downside to it is that with natural lighting, like I've seen almost all my videos, you can't really predict, what the lighting situation is going to be like, what the temperature is going to be like. Is it going to be cloudy, 1 minute and then really warm and sunny the next? And that totally affects what your, video quality looks like, as well as your white balance. So that's the downside of it. It could be raining when you want to film, it could be cloudy when you want to film. But again, if you do have this option, please, I'm begging you, play around with it. Try it out and thank me later. If you're someone who is trying to use your window light, another hack that I would definitely advise you to do, and that's because I always do it, is to try as much as possible to diffuse your natural light. If you are filming with natural light, you never want to film, you know, standing directly in front of your window, would and definitely advise you to get a sheer white curtain, something that would diffuse the light, make it really soft, because again, natural lighting can be so harsh. So another way to limit that is by using a sheer curtain. I'm going to show you what it looks like filming without my, you know, sheer curtain to diffuse the light even more, and also what it looks like now that I'm using this sheer curtain, so you guys can actually see and understand where I am coming from. Yeah, I mean, with this, I could definitely make it work. This is what it looks like filming with my natural light, using my window without some sort of like a diffuser or a sheer curtain to diffuse the light. This is what it looks like when the light is directly hitting me. I don't feel like it's flattering. I feel like it's too harsh. It creates a lot of harsh lines, shadows, highlights, and all of that. I could definitely make this work. I'll just have to tweak my lighting settings just so it works. I mean, it still looks good to be honest with you, but again, I do like that beautiful diffuse light that comes from filming with my curtain. Do also bear in mind, I also have a face light, that's what I call it, directly in front of me. I'm going to turn that off so that you can see what it looks like just using my natural. I'm also going to turn off my studio lights. Okay, so I went ahead to turn off all the lights, all my studio lights, and this is what it looks like just filming with my natural light. Again, like I said, 90% of the time I'm filming, I usually use this. I always use my natural lights. However, most times I like to use my artificial light to fill in some shadows, just fill in the studio so it looks super bright. I also like using my artificial light on my face just to make my face pop even more, and that way my hair can have highlights, my face can look glowy, and I could just stand out at the same time. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So this is the best setting that we currently have going on using my natural light. And guys, with this, I am I'm still super amazed at the quality. It still looks really good. It's something you can start off with. You can start off with your mobile phone. Even filming with your mobile phone using this is absolutely amazing. And just so that you guys can get what I'm saying, I'm going to use my mobile phone for a second so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Amazing. So now this is what it looks like filming on my mobile phone using just my natural lighting. And guys, this is what it is giving. It is so beautiful. I'm filming in 4K on my mobile phone, so I get the best quality, and I'm just pairing it up with my natural light. So with this, you don't have to spend anything when it comes to starting off your YouTube channel or investing in equipment and all of that. You can pretty much start off like this with your natural light and you are good to go. So yeah, this is what it looks like again, and let's get right into this video. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead to just close up my curtain and then go on with this video. Beautiful. So now this is what it looks like with my curtain back, you know, on my window, and this is what it's giving. You guys can see that my skin looks a little bit more flattering. I don't look too bright because the light is too harsh. It looks very soft and very beautiful at the same time. Am I making sense, right? Okay, so I also wanted to point out that I'm someone who is a sucker for backlight. So whether it's, you know, lighting up my background or lighting up me from the back, I love it. So I also use my natural light over here. I do have a window here. I showed you guys in my setup over here, so do watch the video. So now let's go towards the artificial lighting, and this is where we will talk about, you know, soft boxes, ring lights, LED lights, all of that, you know. So moving on to using studio lights. These used to be my favorite when it comes to filming because of what my studio used to look like. I didn't have a lot of natural lights coming in, and also because of my filming schedule, I used to film mostly at night. I used to film from morning till night. I had like a flexible filming schedule, and studio light was the best option for me because I had the same consistency. However, the downside to it is that it is an investment that you have to make. It does require you spending a bit of money or a lot of money, depending on what you're getting and also what your budget is. Now, the first one I'll definitely recommend if you are someone who is a beginner, you have little to no budget, definitely go for a soft box. These ones are amazing. I want to say they are amazing. There are now LED soft boxes that are also budget friendly I used a fluorescent softbox. The downside to that was that it was actually bright. However, it was really hot. Okay, and that's the downside to that. However, they do work amazing, and it's definitely the most beginner friendly option for anyone starting off. Get softbox, get 2, 1 on each side, and you are golden, literally golden. If you want to be extra, you can get 3, 1 on each side and 1 hanging as a backlight, whether for your background or for your, for your hair or for your back at the same time. Or I will leave links to the soft boxes I like to think would be the best for your budget, as well as just the best in general, and I will leave them down in the description box so you guys can check it out. Okay, so after soft boxes, I want to say ring lights. But my problem with having a ring light is that most times it's not really flattering, and with lighting you need some sort of like a balance, right? You need one light to really act as your key light, and need another one to also balance that key light. And it's so amazing to still think that I'm still filming with just my natural light. I'm going to amplify this right now, because in this side we're going to be talking about LED lights. Guys, if you have a budget and you feel like LED lights are too expensive for you, I do want to say that you just be a little bit patient, save up a little bit more, and invest in LED lights. I'd rather you spend, $150 on LED lights, 2 pairs, than for you to spend $50 on soft boxes. And I tell you, because these are pro these are pro, and they will last you for years. They are eco-efficient, they don't emit heat, they don't take up any space. You can literally hang your LED lights on your wall or position it in ways that would suit your filming studio. They don't take up any space, they don't take up space, and they are super bright at the same time. It's so annoying how bright they are. Okay, so for my LED lights, my artificial lights, I currently have 2 lights in front of me, 2 lights behind me, and 1 light just hanging on my camera. Now the 2 lights in front of me are sort of like my fill lights, because again, my natural light is my main key light. This is what I'm using to film. So I like to use my LED lights as my fill light to kind of make hair brighter, make my hair stand out. And I have 2 at the back at the same time to also illuminate the background, but also illuminates me as well. And lastly, the 5th light that I'm using, this might seem unnecessary. So I have this face light. It's like a spotlight. I've talked about this this is an OG light. So I'm going to turn on these 2 lights so you guys can see what I'm working with and what I'm talking about. Okay, so amazing. So another amazing thing about using this LED light, I'll leave the links to the ones that I'm using, but I'll also leave links to a couple other brands that I also think are amazing. The amazing thing about this light is that it comes with a remote control, so I can actually control all of my lighting using just this button. And it's so amazing, it is so convenient, it is so smart. So I kind of set up my lighting to a specific channel. I set it up to 1 channel. It is super easy to set up this light. And I have this to 1 channel because I want a situation whereby I just press 1 button and they all come on. That makes sense, right? And I could, change what the intensity is like from 1% to 100%. So you can tweak the intensity as well as tweak the warmth and the temperature of these lights. So I'm just going to press that on button and it comes on. Now, I don't know if you guys can, let me turn it off. I'm going to turn this one on at the same time. Beautiful. The reason why you're probably not noticing a huge difference is because of the intensity that I had set these lights to, right? They are working, but they are not working because I've set this light to about 10%. And that's because, like I said, my natural light is my main light. This is what I'm using. These ones are like complementary to fill in the shadows, to make the room look really bright and to make me stand out at the same time. So something else that I do that kind of just a little bit extra because I'm a little bit extra. This is totally optional. You don't have to do this, but I love doing it because it kind of gives me a little bit of glow and I love it. I also have a face light. I don't know, it's actually a spotlight, but I call it I call it a face light because what this does is that it just illuminates me over here. It's a spotlight, so it's focused on me and not on my entire studio. This is like going to make me glisten just a little bit, and this is it without the spotlight turned on. Yeah, and this is it with the spotlight turned on. So with this light, I currently have this light set to its lowest temperature. I have it set to the lowest setting, and that's because, again, all these are sort of like few lights. If I make it really bright, it's going to be, you know, too bright. I just add that little bit of light just to illuminate me. Let me know if you guys see any difference in terms of the quality that this adds to it, or am I really just wasting my time and is it just in my head? Let me know down in the comment section. Okay, all right, so with artificial lights, the only reason I would advise you to probably invest in it if you are a starter, if you're someone who is starting off, if you are beginning off with creating content and you are on a low budget, I'll definitely advise to get these if you are someone who wants a little bit of flexibility when it comes to filming. So if you have a 9-to-5 and maybe you want to be filming, you know, at night at odd hours when the sun is not shining, you know, when the sun is not bright and shining, definitely these studio lights does the work for me and it will do the work for you, and that's what they are made for. They're supposed to be like a substitute for natural light. I'm going to close up my window with my blinds, close up this window as well, and show you what it could potentially look like when and if I'm just filming with my studio light. So now I'm filming just using my studio light. This is what it's looking like. However, I'm going to change up the settings just a little bit. Amazing. So this is what it looks like filming with all my 4 studio lights with my face light. Let me turn this off now so you guys can see what this really looks like. So this is what I look like without that face light. Now you guys can see the real difference. I'm gonna turn it back on so you guys can also see what it looks like. There's a difference. There's a huge difference because now you can properly see that glow and it looks amazing. This is what it looks like filming with just my studio lighting, and this is what we're working with. I went ahead to change the white balance a little bit more so it suits the lighting going on with my setup and my studio at the same time. With this kind of setup, you can definitely film at night without, you know, having sunlight, or if you don't have sunlight in your studio or the space that you have, you can definitely use studio lights. This is what LED lights looks like. I can go away with just having just 2. Let me turn these 2 ones at the back off so you guys can see that you can actually work with just 2 lights and you are good. You can definitely actually work with 1, but just to be on the safe side, just to be a little bit pro, I definitely advise to go with 2. But this is what I look like without my backlight, and to be honest with you, it's giving me a mood which is actually making me want to play around with my background. Okay, so like I said, this is typically how I would create like a moody nighttime scene. I feel like these lights might even be too bright. Let me just turn off one light. Let me turn off one light. Okay, so currently I have all my studio lights turned off. I only have this spotlight that you guys are probably seeing right now. This is the only light I have going on in my studio. So again, if you're someone who is filming in a small room and you don't have a lot of equipment to work with, you can definitely go away with using just one LED light, and this is what it's looking like. I do want to say that the lens that I'm using is actually, you know, doing most of the job. I'm using a 30mm 1.4 lens, so with that I can go down to about 1.4 f-stop, which is currently what I have going on, and this is what I look like. This would be perfect for such a calming video, and I don't know if you guys can see how this really brings out the details of my hair as well as my makeup, and it kind of makes me stand out, if that makes sense. It's a spotlight and it's definitely doing the work. So yeah, this is definitely something you can try out. You can invest in this, or you can invest in one of the LED lights that I currently have here, and it should definitely do the work for you. The key to lighting is just finding a balance and knowing how to make it work and how to make it look good on camera when you're filming, so that way you have an amazing output. Yeah, so when it came to installing my studio lighting, my artificial lighting, I had 4 LED lights previously, so I knew that I was going to be making this my major filming lighting setup. So what I did was to get these hanger for tripod. You can actually put this on your wall or on your ceiling depending on what you want. Something that I personally did was to also install a ball head and connect that to my light, so that way I have a little bit of flexibility in positioning how I want my lighting to be, where I want my light to be positioned. If I want to tilt it down, tilt it up, tilt it in an angle, however I want it to be. So yeah, for anyone who was curious to what my lighting setup looked like, as well as, you know, someone who also wanted like an insight on how to start off using budget-friendly lighting options, as well as how to kind of work with what you have and also kind of play around with lighting. I feel like lighting is the best thing to play around with when it comes to filming, because there are just so many ways you can work with it. Like I said, I use only one lighting LED lighting system, and that kind of completely illuminated me, and it still looks really amazing. If you feel like this is too much for you, because I think it's too much for me, definitely just start off with your natural lights and then build your way upwards, because again, that's what I definitely would advise for everyone and anyone who is filming YouTube content. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was nice having you here. If you watched this video up until now and you haven't seen my previous one, where have you been? What have you been doing? Okay, so now it's time to catch up with my content. Subscribe to the family, subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to be putting out more content like this for you guys. I'll leave the links right here. Subscribe right here. Check out my previous video. Check out my studio tour, and also check out my previous YouTube studio playlist over here to get started with background, lighting, setup, everything you need to get started here on YouTube. So yeah, I'll wait for you in one of these videos. So yeah, let's go.